back to Philly we go. Dan Seravalli joins us. His area of expertise is the Philly Flyers. There he is, joining us today from the Enterprise Podcast. How you doing, Natty?
I am doing very well, Rob. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm good. I got a lot of things to unpack with you with the Orange Crush and the Flyers and so forth, because that is your thing. But you just saw the interview with Devin Caney from the NLL. How big are you on the Wings? Do you follow the NLL and what they do, since they share the Wells Fargo Center with the Sixers and Flyers?
Now, that's the lacrosse league, right?
Yeah.
So I've been to one game in my life. I do not follow it like religiously at all. But yeah, I know they play in Philly. I went to a game when I was younger. That's about all I know.
Well, they're a lot of fun. Now, you told me last week that you are cousins with Frank Seravalli, the TSN senior hockey writer, out of Philly. Tell me, how close are you guys related, and when's the last time you talked?
The last time I talked, it's actually more of a somber event. I was at my grandmom's funeral about 13 years ago. We're not close at all. He's like a distant cousin. We're not close at all.
Which is interesting because you're in the same town and you both follow the Flyers so closely. So beyond all that, Dan, how are you making out with the fact that the Flyers aren't playing right now? Because you told me in the interview we did on your show, you didn't see it coming, the number one seed in the East. So you just must be dying to find out what's next for the Philly Flyers.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a great end of the season for them. They got things rolling, and they took that momentum into the playoffs, obviously finishing with the number one seed. I think there's a lot of excitement with the Flyers, especially with the fact that they finally have what is to be, it looks like, the goaltender situation taken care of in Carter Hart, and it's brought a lot of excitement to the city. You know, I think people finally have a different outlook on the Flyers, because it's always been they kind of fall into the playoffs around like the later seeds, and then they kind of just get bounced in the first round. But to have the goalie solidified, it's pretty exciting.
It is. And by the way, I got to tell the viewers that when I was on your show, you were somewhat fascinated with the fact that all the hockey players come from here, or most of them anyways. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned by name Hextall, Brian Propp, Bobby Clark, Rich Sutter, like Flyers, Moose DuPont, I believe, by the way, depending how far back you want to go. I've never asked anybody this, so I'm going to ask you. Why is Ron Hextall not getting credit for building this team? Because you don't wave a wand and build a team overnight like this. And they fired him. Like, what's the deal there?
I think Philadelphia fans could be a little bit impatient, and they don't always trust the process. I know that's the Sixer slogan, but they don't always trust the process. And I kind of feel bad for Ron. He's not getting the credit he deserves. He built the system, the farm system for the Flyers, and now it's showing. All these prospects coming up. Guys like Provorov, who shows the most promise, I think, on the entire team. He's not getting the credit he deserves, and he should be. And Ron Hextall, as a player, is beloved. He should be beloved, I think, as a manager. People don't have patience with Ron.
You sound like you know what I know. Because what they say about Hextall is he wears people out. And by the way, so do I. So I get it. But he's a micromanager. He's a taskmaster. Are you just hinting around something, Dan, or what do you know about that?
I actually don't know that much about that. I wasn't hinting at anything, actually.
That's fair. I've heard the exact same thing, though, that he's just got his finger on everything, and after a while, people don't like that. And I know that. You had a point for Dan or a question for Dan?
No, I was just going to say, on the ice, Ron Hextall, if you didn't have patience for him or didn't agree with him, he'd tune you in. So,
literally.
That was all. I'm surprised he didn't do that in Philly with the management group, but...
Yeah, you can talk to Chris Chelios about that.
Or Kent Nilsson or any of those guys that he almost broke their leg. But I got another one for you. Why the people in Winnipeg say we don't talk enough Jets. So here we go. There's the rumor that Patrik Laine could be on the trade. Well, we know he's on the trade block. Maybe he'll go to Philly for Ivan Provorov, who played his junior hockey in Brandon, which is just down the road from Winnipeg. You know what Laine's done. Top 7 scoring in the last 3 years. Is that a trade you'd make, Dan?
I think it's a trade I would consider. I would have to take some time to kind of sort through that, but I don't know if I would make it just off the top of my head, just because I think Provorov has shown so much promise. And at his age, to be playing at the level I think he's playing at, I would wait it out just a little bit more, because defensemen get better with age, because they become so smart. And I see signs that a guy like Provorov could be, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as a guy like Nick Lidstrom, but I see a lot of similarities to that. So Provorov, to me, is just not a guy I would want to get rid of.
No, well, that's the kind of guy that you build with. I totally get it. And I don't even know where that trade come from, by the way, but the Jets are in need of a defenseman, too, and they've got a disgruntled player reportedly in Patrick Laine. So, yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the Flyers' home game experiences? You kind of related a little bit of that to me when I guested on your podcast, but it seems to me like a real homey event. Like Brian Propp is a ambassador, right? He's a host every game. You told me Bernie Parent is at almost every game for the Philly Flyers. Like what? For guys that have never been there, what's it like?
Listen, it's an amazing event to be at. Philadelphia fans get a bad rep a lot of time. They've booed Santa Claus and thrown snowballs at him. It's at an Eagles event, but it's a great experience. You're going to get a very passionate fan base. Philadelphia fans. Did we lose them? Are we still there? Can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, it's an amazing experience, and you get not only just Bernie Parent, but you'll get guys like Bob Kelly down there. You get a lot of former Flyers. A lot of Flyers tend to stay in the area. Guys like Danny Briere. I know he goes down still to a lot of games. He was on one of our podcasts a few months ago. But got a phone ringing. I'm sorry, but
That's good.
It's a great experience if you ever get the chance to come down to a Flyers. I feel like you got to just be there to actually experience it. And we got Gritty. We got Gritty now, too. We got the best mascot in the NHL.
Maybe we will come in the winter because they're making it sound so great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you're going in the winter, then you could go to a Flyers game and a Wings game. You could do all those things. But of the movies about Philly, like there's something great about Philly that I'm not sure. Devin Caney just said it's a vibe, and I'm sure that there is. But Rocky, Invincible, movies like that, more if you can think of them. Did they capture it properly?
Oh, absolutely. Just the heart of the city of brotherly love. Yeah, Rocky, I feel like just captures it the best, especially Rocky 2 when he beats Apollo. I'm not big on the later Rocky. But Rocky 1 and 2, two of the best movies in my opinion ever.
My favorites are Rocky 1 and 3, right? Thunder Lips.
Okay, yeah. I like 3. 3's not bad. No, the only sad you got Mickey dies, but he comes back and beats Clubber Lang. It's still good. Number 2 for me is just awesome.
They all go downhill after 3. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. They were milking it too much. Well, Dan, we'll let you go and get back to work. Other than Todd Pinkney writes in and says Lindros attends more games as well now. So the Big E, you've seen him at Philly games?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was actually down there. Well, he does go down, but I was actually there the night his number got retired, and Leclerc. Leclerc was my guy. Very underappreciated Flyer, in my opinion. John Leclerc.
Legion of Boom.
And Michael Renberg, right?
And Michael Renberg. That was the 3, yeah. Before we let you go, Dan Seravalli, can you tell us just a plug for your podcast, your Instagram handle, and so forth, so people can tune in for those that love Philly sports?
Absolutely. Get over to Enterprise Sports, ENTERPRIZ, with a Z. Not like the car company with an S, it's with a Z. We were actually in New York last night. We were doing all kinds of election coverage, and I just got back a little bit ago. So we do just about everything on.
Yeah, you do. It's amazing. It's very simple. Enterprise with a Z, and you'll find him, Dan Seravalli. Pinkney writes in again. He says, great show. Oh, I believe it. It's been the Philly special today. And when we do come down there, where would you take us, by the way? Devin's already offered to tour guide us for one day. Dan, you'll have another. Where would you take us? What's on the must-see tour of?
Well, first of all, we do cheesesteak reviews, so you got to do one of those with us. But then, it depends where you want to go. You want to go to a sporting event? We can go around the city. They got a lot of good restaurants down here. I would love to take you to an Eagles game. We can get to an Eagles game. I think that would be a great experience.
We're going to do this in the fall. I can smell it.
Yeah. Well, and Todd, big Philly guy. He told us it's 20 to 25 degrees. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Go for it.
Well, Todd just said it's 20 to 25 degrees in early November in Philly. So it's not as cold as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not that bad. It's been pretty mild, actually. Usually it's a little bit colder now, but it's actually been pretty mild. New York was a little chilly last night, but it's not too bad.
Well, Dan, look, We know how to get a hold of each other now. So I appreciate the time and reciprocating with me, and we will be coming to Philly. So check your inbox and have a great Philly day, man. I appreciate the time.
I appreciate you having me on. I really do. Thank you.
Dan Seravalli joining us from Philadelphia.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.